right. Hey, beautiful souls. Merv here, and I help you live a healthier, happier life with hypnosis. And today I am talking to one of my colleagues, Rebecca. There you go.
Hi, Merv.
Hey,
Hi.
Rebecca. All right. And it's so good to be here with you, Rebecca. And for those that are watching or listening, today we're going to talk about something so important and interesting. And it's going to be about life purpose and mindset work that's related to hypnosis. So that's basically what Rebecca and I do. And today's episode is going to be fun and informative. So please stay tuned and listen to what we're going to have to say.
How exciting.
Very exciting. So Rebecca, tell me a little bit about what you do. You're the life purpose coaching that you're in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I had a kind of a tough childhood. I had a lot of different experiences that created a lot of negative core beliefs for me. And I experienced a lot of roadblocks, if you will, a lot of hitting my head against the brick wall. And I found myself saying many, many times throughout my young adult years, why didn't somebody teach me this in school? I just could not figure out why somebody didn't tell me that my thoughts were creating my reality or that, this track was running in my brain and I needed to be aware of it. And so after a lot of hiccups and a lot of bumps in the road, I finally broke through and started creating with intention. And ever since I realized that many, many people out there go through life without the awareness of their control over their lives and what they're able to create, that we truly are creators, that knowledge and that wisdom has just been dying to come out of me. My soul won't let me rest until I share it. And so that's why I have to share videos as often as possible and coach and help people find their life purpose and get the blocks out of the way so that they can really tap into the joy and the peace and the fulfillment and the freedom that comes from living what we were designed to live for. And so everybody has a genius that's inside of them. Everybody is perfectly imperfect. They're perfectly designed for the purpose that they were intended to live out. And I also believe that our purpose is intended to be given out into the world, that we are here to work together. We're pieces of a puzzle, and collectively we are incomplete if we don't find our purpose and start offering that to the world. So that is my life mission.
Wow, that's so beautiful. That is so great. I'm sure you've hit on, hit the nail with that one. And I love what you said. My life is imperfectly perfect. Because if you told me that like probably 3-4 years back, I would have been like, what are you saying? Like, no, I am perfect. Hello, what are you talking about? Right before I went through my transformation. So I love that you said that. And we are truly individually all imperfectly perfect. And I have a motive, a little bit of a motive that I follow, that goes something like, I am not broken, I am breaking through,
Mm,
which is so beautiful, because we're humans and we're not objects to break, where you gotta fix it or heal it for it to kind of like become something else. We're just figuring it out, right? We're just trying to figure it out. And my life purpose as well was very similar. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was like in corporate for many years, and then I hit rock bottom. I went through a depression for a whole year, but I'm a positive person, of course. So I made depression look so good on me that nobody knew I was depressed, but only my weight and my body would tell people, because I would gain weight. I would gain weight, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine,"
yeah.
but I wasn't fine. And that's because I almost, gave up on my life purpose. I didn't know what I wanted in life. I lived such a perfectionist life that I wanted to be perfect all the time. And I'm like, there's no possibly a way that I'm not perfect. So what is wrong with me? And I was just kind of, I needed to go through that. I needed to be depressed to find my life purpose. And that's when I decided to become a health and a life coach and transform my own self and work on myself, because I was my project, right? I needed to find me. I needed to find that inner peace and inner happiness, when my whole life I thought we find it externally, right? Through like other people or other things. oh, if I buy a house, I'm going to be happy. If
Yeah.
I buy a car, I'm going to be happy. If I'm in a relationship, I'm going to be happy. And guess what? Most of the times we're not,
Yeah.
because we're still not happy inside. So it took me a long time to figure that out, and to know that Merv, you have all the answers within. And that's so interesting that it takes you back to kind of like finding your life purpose in who you are, because a lot of us don't know who we are, right? And then that's when I got into hypnosis, coincidentally, and now I practice that with my clients, and I learned so much about it, to myself, obviously, and the clients that I practice with. And it's all right here in our minds. It's all about the reprogramming of our own minds, right? And it's so interesting that we both collaborated at the same time to talk about the life purpose and the mindset and the hypnosis, because it's all connected. And we're, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm still figuring it out, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not something that you just discover one day and you write it on a piece of paper and you put it on a plaque and it's stagnant and it never changes. In fact, I find the life purpose is continuously unfolding. And the more you lean in and listen to the intuition and just take that next right step, something else is going to be revealed to you. And so it's kind of like making soup. I like to use that analogy where you're adding a little salt, adding a little pepper, maybe it needs some more water, maybe it needs a starch, and then it's going to marinate overnight, and the flavor is going to change tomorrow, and then tomorrow it's going to be too salty, so then you'll have to add some more water, right? And so through our life experiences, we're discovering, oh, I liked this aspect of the corporate world, but I didn't like that aspect. And I like this aspect of being an entrepreneur, and maybe I can combine them. And you're making your own soup. And so your life purpose is going to continue to evolve. It's a process of alchemy, right? We're turning this life that we see outside of us into the gold that we will hold in our hearts. So I love your story. I didn't realize that you too were in the corporate world and left, and it's I'm sure we're not alone. I know we're not alone. I know there's a lot of people who we go through the prescription that we've been given, right? You should do this. They kind of should all over us, right? And we should get a degree, go to college, get a corporate job, get married, get a house, have kids. And then, only then do we kind of, and if you're lucky before, you hit that wall and go, okay, when does the happiness come?
Wow.
Because it hasn't come yet, right? And it's because it's not outside of us, like you say, it's inside. So I'm really curious, when you were in the corporate world and you started to feel depressed, was there a trigger moment, or what do you think started to sort of awaken your soul and that calling to you to find your true self?
Ooh, that question just gave me the goosebumps. Like,
I know, me too.
yeah, that is such an important question, and it's interesting that you asked that. So at the moment, at the time, sorry, at the time I was living in Dubai. I was working as a consultant in healthcare, with startup companies. I'm originally from Jersey, but I moved to Dubai for 6 years. So if you've never been to Dubai, whatever you see online, that is Dubai. It's a luxury, extraordinary, like beautiful country. Like everything's accessible. They have the best of everything. So I was living life basically there, and working at startup companies, and always giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, right? So I'm a pleaser, I'm a giver,
Mm.
and forgetting myself along the way, and nobody's happy and satisfied at the end of the day. So I just started to catch myself like getting caught up in like um in uncertainty, and am I doing the right thing, and I'm giving a lot, and I'm not where I'm supposed to be or where I should be, right? And then I started to find myself little by little losing that interest and that motive of living in Dubai or working in corporate. And you've been in corporate, like your boss is never happy, your emails like suck, the way you write is not good, this, that, and the other. There's always an excuse, and there's always people pointing fingers at you that you're not doing a good job. So I was like, what is it? Like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? So I started to like kind of go into this rabbit hole of like, I'm not happy, nobody's happy. And I'm an overachiever. Like I'll make sure I finish the project and do a little extra work because I don't want to hear it, right?
Yeah.
But nobody's happy. And the culture in Dubai is very different than US. So people are not happy at the end of the day because they want more. Um, and that took me some time. And then I started to find, so I was athletic, into nutrition and working out and CrossFitting, and I was very fit. And then I started to lose that interest too. And then I started to become depressed and depressed and depressed, where I'm like eating everything and not caring about myself and not working out. And I think at the time I felt like I needed to quit corporate because it was depressing me rather than giving me that I'm excited to go to work feeling, right? And then I lost it. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I knew I was supposed to be going somewhere, but I just didn't know what it was. I had no clarity, I had no guidance. And everything around me was telling me, you have to go back home, which is Jersey, US, where your family is. And I didn't want to move back to US. I was having, having a blast as I thought, but I
Mm.
actually wasn't, because I was becoming depressed. And I was like, no, I don't want to go back. No, I don't want to go back. So again, divine timing, right? The universe, God, the source, whatever you believe in, was telling me you don't belong here.
Mhm.
But my ego was pushing through. No, I want to stay here. No, I want to stay here. Merv, nothing is working out for you here. You don't belong here. You have a bigger purpose, but you have to go back. So I started to feel and get in touch with my intuition. My ego wants to stay.
Yeah.
My intuition is saying, Merv, you can't stay anymore because you're becoming unhealthy, right? And I'm a health freak. So when I decided to change everything and cut all ties and leave corporate and come back to US, I was like, oh my God, I'm here now. What do I do? I don't want to go back to corporate. No, I don't want to go back to corporate, right? I'm
Your
like
soul's
freaking
like, no, I'm not gonna go, like kicking and screaming, right? Like,
yeah, kicking and screaming. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And for 6 months when I came back, I just didn't know what to do. I was like literally crying every day. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, what is it that I need to do? I know I'm supposed to go somewhere, but I still don't know what it is. And I don't know what made me Google and do research on like nutritionists and health coaching and personal training and all that, because I wanted to work on me. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get back to feeling healthy again. So I made myself my project,
yes.
right? I made myself my project and I looked up, I did so much research, and I said to myself, I'm like, God, I trust you. Whoever's going to call me back from these like companies, whatever, whoever's going to call me back the next 10 minutes, I'm going to sign up with them. With what money, I have no idea.
Good for
With
you.
whatever savings I have, I'm going to sign up with them. And I kid you not, Rebecca, 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from the Health Coach Institute. And I loved everything they said, and I was sold. And I started to do it and then study it and transform my life. And it was a lot of mindset work. And I was like, oh my God, they don't teach you this stuff in school.
How can they not?
They don't
That's what
teach
I don't
you.
understand is how do we give it away with not teaching this? It's incredible.
Yeah, they don't teach you mindset work. They don't teach you self-care and self-love and look within, and money blocks, and like they don't teach you this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when I went through it, I was like, I'm hooked. I always wanted to help people, but I just didn't know how. And I had to go through that. I had to go to Dubai. I had to go through this depression. I had to hit rock bottom for me to snap out of it again and be like, Merv, you have a bigger purpose. And trust me, as I was going through, I was still kind of like confused on what I want to do with health coaching. And then I became I got the certificate of life coaching. And then I discovered hypnosis. And I'm like, all this stuff, what am I going to do? How do I help people? I want to help people, but how do I help people? Right. And then you and I learned, the whole business aspect of you can't help everybody. You
Yeah.
can't be like a know-it-all person. You have to just help one person. And
Yeah.
that took me some time to understand. Like I know I want to help everybody and give free services and free information, but that's just gonna make me feel exhausted because again, self-care, right? Self-care, take care of yourself so we can give others. And so I had to kind of focus on one kind of person, one kind of niche, one kind of audience, to help. And then I got into weight loss for a while. And then from weight loss, I was like, no, it's not really the diets. It's more of the mindset,
Absolutely.
you know?
It's all is mind.
All his mind. Yeah. So I'm curious about you. How did you get involved in this and
Oh,
leave corporate?
oh my goodness. That is quite a story, which I will tell you. I have to touch on a couple things that you said there because it's so amazing how your story is so similar to the people that I'm talking to, and it seems a majority of us are going through either recently or currently. And it's almost like we have to try on the prescribed life that they say we should live so that we can be certain that that's not going to work for us, because when everything outside of you is telling you you have to go this route, you're going to really question yourself, and it's almost like we kind of got to get that out of the way. But then what you did was follow your already innate intuition, innate curiosity, right? So you're into to health and fitness, and I am too. I've been guilty of, I think I've been called a rabbit and I eat twigs and berries, but that's by somebody who likes McDonald's, so we won't go there. But we'll have to talk health and nutrition another day because that's kind of my other passion
Oh,
too. Because
of
it's a big
course.
piece of it, right? Like you can't have a healthy mind without a healthy body. So
Oh my God, yes.
so
Yes.
you did the right thing, right? Like coming back and just like trying things on, right? That's the base, the foundation of your soup was health and nutrition, right? And so now you're adding in a little bit of hypnosis, and it's kind of interesting how we're tested and we're forced to operate on faith because we'll never figure it out with the mind. We'll never put it like I'm type A corporate personality. I like to check all my boxes. I like my roadmaps, right? Like the 5-year plan, right? So I wanna lay it out and I wanna know I'm gonna be a health coach and then I'm gonna do hypnosis and then I'm gonna do this and then we're gonna pair it together and then I'm gonna help this group of people, right? And
Yeah.
it's that planning that we try to do is kind of what gets in the way because we're never going to be able to figure it out with the mind. The mind has strengths and it serves its purpose in some cases, but the ego gets in and it gets in the way, and it's that insatiable need for more. And it clouds our judgment when we need to be listening to our heart and we need to be following our intuition. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm sure it's for the better, we won't be able to figure out all the next steps. All we can do is take the next right step, what's right here, be present, what's right in front of us. And so I love that you're a living example of the right way to do it. You're doing the right thing, right? Like this is how we all need to be going about it. And can you imagine, this is where I get really excited, if we start teaching this in schools, which my life mission before I die,
I would
my
be a
kids will learn
teacher.
this.
I
Yes,
would be a teacher.
yes, yes, because this is so beautiful. Life can be so amazing. And I'm totally covered in goosebumps right now because
Me
it
too.
it's incredibly fun, right? Like joy and your passion is your compass. And that's always said with a healthy dose of responsibility, right? We can't eat potato chips and sit on the couch all day. That makes me happy, right? That's not what I'm saying. But like if we're teaching kids this at 5 and 7 and 10 and 12, because it is such a process of alchemy, by the time they're 18 and 21, if they've been doing this for 18 years or 20 years, they're going to be so strong and so powerful and such vibrant creators. The goosebumps just won't stop. The world could be such an amazing place if we're all just creating from our intuition and our heart. And thank you for sharing your story because it I get really excited at what an example you have been for people, and it's incredibly impactful, and you're helping make the world a better place. So thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you. It means a lot. It means a lot, Rebecca. Thank you. And listen, we're still a work in progress. It's
Absolutely. Always.
never ending. It's never ending. The only thing I would say is continue to work on yourself. It's never like, oh, I'm here. Now I'm
Right.
good. It's like, oh, I bought the house and I'm happy.
Right.
Or I'm in a relationship. Now I'm happy. No,
Right.
continue working on yourself. That's one thing I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The soup is never finished.
I love that. I love cooking. So it's
Yes.
like, oh, a little salt and a pepper and a this and a that.
Add a little love, add a little joy. Yeah, the soup of life, right?
Of
Yeah,
life.
so I mean, you asked about my story. Like I mentioned, I would say the first 27 years were pretty tumultuous. So pretty much any difficult life experience you can imagine I experienced. And I don't like to go into the gory story. I'm all about telling a new story because if we keep telling the old story, we're recreating the past. And so while it's nice to be able to help people with those experiences, that's great. But when I was 27, and someone gave me a book called A Peaceful Mind, and it's cognitive behavioral therapy essentially, and it really is all about just noticing and being the observer of your thoughts, and questioning your thoughts, because your thoughts will lie to you. They actually are not always your friend. The mind, surprisingly, is usually the last to know and just keeps repeating the last thing it heard. And if we are running these old programs, if we have 7 to 9,000, I hear different numbers all the time, but call it 7,000 thoughts in a day, and 90% of those are repeated. Imagine what you are creating. So if I like to talk a little bit about the science, because again, coming from a corporate background, I have a lot of friends who are like, that's too woo woo. This is science. It's proven. It's not just spiritual mumbo jumbo anymore, that we are electromagnetic beings. Our
Yeah.
thoughts are an electromagnetic frequency. They literally vibrate. And we know with magnetism that you will draw together the positive and the negative parts. So we are literally creating with our thoughts. And our thoughts also create our emotions, which turn into our actions, which turns into our personality, and our character creates our personal reality, right? So, and that's Joe Dispenza, that's not mine. So,
Okay.
but we're drawing to us, and we truly are creators. And so when I finally woke up and realized, whoa, I am thinking negative things, worried about the past, worried about the future all day and all night. Like from the moment my eyes open, I'm recreating the past. That was kind
Mm.
of that light bulb moment. And the first time I said, "Why are we teaching this in school?" Um, and I'm now in my early 40s, and so it's close to going on 20 years of working with what we need to learn, working with the mindset, removing the blocks, identifying the core beliefs, um, learning through hardship with relationships, why we keep having the same negative relationships come to us, and how to have boundaries, how to not self sacrifice and give too much, how to put your mask on first so that you can help others around you. All of these little lessons just kept building and building. And I feel like we can only retain so much. I'm a perpetual learner. I love learning. It's kind of something I crave. And so you see my books, that's not even the half of them. Like I'm constantly buying books and stacking them, next to my bed with the plan to read them. But you can only retain so much before you kind of become saturated. It's almost like you're a cup. You have to empty some of that out. And that's where I just could not survive in the corporate world anymore. I really like the people, I like the camaraderie, I like the organized structure of trying to achieve a goal, but at the end of the day, that company's ROI just didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I can't put on that mask anymore. And
Oh, yeah.
there's like a separation of self that happened for me, where I want to be kind and I want to be loving to these people because they are individuals and they have intrinsic value, but at the same time, collectively, those people made up that organization that was preventing my soul from living its purpose. And so I would struggle with the genuine desire to be kind, and yet the resentment that I had to be there at the same time. And life will push you out, as you experienced when you're just not meant to be there anymore. You can't do it. You just can't do it. There's only so much energy you can give to it before it shuts you down if you don't walk away. And so
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
that was my experience, where I just said, I give up.
I love it. I love it. And you said something so important. Life will push you. I love that you said that, because, and this is for again, for those that are listening, this is because I'm sure people are like, but how do you know? Like, how do you know when to move or when to do this one? You will know.
Mhm.
You will know within your intuition. So if your intuition is saying quit your job, but your ego saying don't you dare do it, the title, the money, the comfort, the ambiance, that this and that and the other, right? But your intuition saying you are miserable, leave it, you have something better out there, and you're scared to take that move or to make that move because you're comfortable,
Yeah.
right? So we're comfortable, we have this comfort zone that we love to stay in as humans.
Mhm.
And so you're comfortable, you're like, no, I'm not giving that up, I worked so hard for it. But you have no idea what's waiting for you when you take that move, that uncomfortable move, and you come out of your comfort zone. And it's going to be scary as F, scary as F to do it. But I guarantee you, and this is something I'm guaranteed because I've been in it, and Rebecca's been in it. I guarantee you it's going to be so much better on the other side. So much better how? Maybe you're not going to have the same money yet. Maybe you're not going to have the ambiance that you had, but so much better inside. You're going to be happier. You're going to be um, loving yourself again. You're going to put that mask back on, and make yourself survive whatever it is that you're going, instead of actually putting yourself in a bigger hole. So whenever you feel uncomfortable, whenever you're scared, go ahead and take it.
Yeah.
Take that leap of faith, and it's so much better on the other side. And that's your story. That's going to be your story to talk about,
Yeah.
because it doesn't knock the door and be like, hey, I'm ready for you, are you? Let's do it. No, it's never going to be that way. It's going to be like, do it now. Intuition saying, do it now. Take that leap of faith, quit your job, or move now, or leave that toxic relationship now, or write a book now, or start your own business now, right? Like, this is what it says. It keeps making you like feel it in your stomach. It's like, oh, I'm sick to my stomach. What is happening? I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts as a little bit of a whisper. It's like, hey, maybe this isn't right for me today. And then, gradually over time, in weeks and months and years, it's going to get louder and louder and louder until finally it's going to smack you on the forehead and yank your job out from underneath you and force you to go do what you know you're supposed to do. So you have a choice.
Yes.
You can do it when it's a whisper, or you can wait until you get smacked in the face. Yeah, I kind of joke, but there is a delicate balance in defining when the right time is to do it, because I've found if I jump too early when it's first a whisper, sometimes it's a little too early. You kind of got to wait until it gets a little bit louder, and then a doorway will be presented.
Yeah.
And you'll know when that time comes. So it's not always when you first get the instinct, but it's not quite the smack on the forehead either. So the other thing too is to remember that the ego will say, this isn't going to look good. Your friends are going to think you're crazy. Your mom's going to be so upset, right? And we're afraid of the mess that we're going to create by having to make this switch, because it's not an easy transition. There's going to be some hiccups. If you're lucky and if you're smart, you'll be able to start a side job. I have kids and a family, so that was really hard. I had to make that abrupt transition, but for some people they can do it at night or in the evenings, and that's great. If you can find a way to bridge it, that's great. But don't let the mess make you afraid and make you scared or prevent you from making the change. And that's kind of, I think, one of the most important pieces is to remember there is a message in the mess, that while it does not look good or feel good, it's very uncomfortable. And I love that you touched on this too. It's hard work to kind of start the process, get over the hurdles, change the mindset. All of that seems so daunting on this side of it, where we're resistant to it. We don't want to do it. We're avoiding it. We're trying to escape it, and it's not going to let us escape. So really we just end up wasting a lot of energy and time trying to resist it. But if we push through, like you said, there's a little bit of hard work on the front end, but it actually is easier on the other side. There's
Yeah.
more joy, there's more peace. There is just a release that happens, like you said, in the body. It's difficult to explain. For me, the word is peace, but for someone else, it might be a different word, where there's a calm. The internal chaos goes away. The tug of war with, do I go? Do I stay? Who am I? Am I enough? Is this fulfilling? Is my boss going to be mad at me? Right? All of that just kind of floods away, and you can be at peace and know, I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing. This is right for me. And there's a message in that process of getting to that place. And there's so much joy on the other side of doing the hard work. It doesn't feel like work anymore. So,
Yeah. I love that. Yes. Yeah. So for you, it's peace. For maybe, I think for me, it was, yes, inner peace, and it was happiness again.
yeah.
because I'm all about happiness. I'm all about you can find happiness, you can change your life, you're not obligated to be in a situation that you're not comfortable with. So I am for that because I've been wearing so many masks my whole life to please other people. So right now I'm authenticity, no mask. This is who I am. I'm living my purpose, and we're forever. And I guess this would be my takeaway from this to people that are listening. You will forever follow your life purpose. We again, Rebecca and I still don't know exactly who we want to be, but as you take that action, as you move forward, the more uncomfortable, the more action steps that you're taking, the more growth you're going through, the more you find who you want to be. Like when I first started, it was mainly weight loss I was doing. And then I was like, no, there's more to it. I want to do more. Right. So I wasn't 1,000% satisfied because I know I want to do more. I know I can do more. And then I got into um, hypnosis and I do that. And then I'm like, but no, I feel like I want to do more. So just follow those intuitive feelings of no, there is more for you out there. And again, it's not gonna like you're not gonna jump from A to Z. No, you're gonna go through the alphabet slowly until you get to where you want to be. And like Tony Robbins, talks about his story, and like Dr. Joe talks about his story. Like we all started small and started like that, not knowing what we want to do, but we're following something.
Yeah.
And I'm following that that feeling that like, oh my God, that feels so good. That like exciting feeling, right? So when you don't have that feeling anymore, you're really not living. So just follow your intuition and practice on that, and you will find your life purpose as you go, basically.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like that you said too about not wanting to do it. And if you don't want to do it, sometimes that's the very thing you should do. And I think Mel Robbins talks a lot about how the brain is designed to keep you safe, not
Mhm.
to help you find happiness. And so we need to sometimes get out of the head and follow the heart and those intuitive hints, like you say. So Murph, it has been such a pleasure talking to you. I'm so enjoying our time. I would really love to connect again on nutrition and how the mindset is connected to nutrition and our life purpose and all these fun things that we probably talk about all day. So I really
I
enjoyed
know.
my time.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. We have to do another episode on nutrition or weight loss, like it's all
Yes.
handy. So yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna definitely connect again. And
Yeah.
thank you so much, Rebecca, for being here.
Yes.
This has been fun, and I'll see you soon.
Yes. Thank you for taking the time, Murph. Namaste.
Yes, namaste. And oh, by the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe.
Yes. Yes.
All around to
Yes.
Rebecca and myself.
I'd
And
really love to hear from our audiences if you are pursuing your life purpose, if this is something that is kind of in the back of your mind, that would, if you have questions or anything you want us to talk about the next time we get together, we'd love to hear from you. So comment below and we'll definitely get together again soon.
yay. All right,
Yay.
bye guys.
Bye.